Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. As you all know, Diddy's trial is underway this week, but the last piece of information that we got from the prosecution team last week is that the entire team is made up of all white women. Now, while I'm not sure how Diddy feels about this, I'm sure Shannon Sharpe is somewhere out there saying, please don't apply any criminal charges against me, but if you do, please send me the Diddy White Girl Dream Team. Y'all know Shannon only loves one flavor of ice cream, and that's vanilla. Shannon gonna be watching the Diddy trial like this. Woo! Go prosecution. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. Depending on what time zone you're in, it's Sunday night or Monday morning. And to my Monday morningers, I know this is not our favorite day of the week at all, but I have a great show to help you get you through your day. You know, I got you. All right, we have 3 lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about Diddy's pre-jury trial selection that starts today. And we have the entire breakdown of everything that you need to know. Also, Diddy's prosecution team is made up of all white women. We'll give you insight into that. And high-profile attorneys break down the real facts of the Diddy case and explain why the public is misled. In quick news, we're going to talk Cardi B, Stefon Diggs, Beyoncé Rumi, Tina Knowles, Richard Brand, GTA 6, Lebron James, Shannon Sharpe, Tariffs, Nipsey Hussle, Brittany Renner, and Kevin Gates. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Diddy's jury selection starts today, and we have the entire breakdown on what you need to know. All right, we wanted to kick today's show off with going over everything that is going to be going down today in Diddy's jury selection trial. All right, there's a lot of misleading things out there, and you know how we do at the Trent Out Loud podcast. We lead with facts and receipts. So we did the research for you, okay? Now, there has been up to 700 pre-selected jurors that have filled out questionnaires of up to 70 to 80 questions. The ones who have been selected by both the prosecution and the defense will show up Monday morning to be interviewed one-on-one by both sides, okay? That's pretty standard. Now, here is where things start to change for Mr. Diddy. Diddy has asked the judge if he could be there during the interview process, and the judge has said yes. Now, just let me take a little time out here to dissect this. Diddy is a little bit of a control freak. So I don't know how much I like the fact that Diddy is going to be in the interview process. Normally, you leave that up to experts. Some people don't even let their lawyers do the selection. There's people literally daily, that's all they do. A lot of them are psychologists. Actually, we told you guys a couple of weeks ago that Dr. Phil is one of the leading jury selectors in America. And the fact that Diddy is going to be involved in this, I don't like that for him, but we'll see how that all plays out. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think about that. The flip side to that, as you know, I always try to look at both sides of things. The flip side of that is Diddy might be trying to look at and try to identify people who he feels he will have a connection with. Let's not forget, Diddy is not somebody who we don't know. He's not like an average Joe. He is a very famous celebrity. I think they'll have a hard time finding a jury who doesn't know who he is. So I've got word that Diddy might be looking to try to see and identify the people who he speaks to, quote unquote, fans. Now, as an entrepreneur and as a businessman and as a marketer, Diddy has a little advantage there. He has been, for the past 25, 30 years, been able to identify what his customer, who his customer is and what his customer wants. He's been giving us music and Ciroc and other marketing thing. So he does have a little advantage of identifying who he could speak to and who would understand his brand best. So from what I've heard from Diddy's camp, that's why Diddy wants to be in the room. Like I said, I think it's a horrible idea because there's one way how to market and sell somebody something. There's a whole other dynamic when it is jury. I'm talking about criminal cases, etc. He's a control freak. I think he's getting in his own way. Next thing is the entire process could take up to 3 days. So they're allotting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the one-on-one interviews. Now, let's also dissect this interview process. The defense has to agree on a juror, and so does the prosecution. Now, who is the defense looking for? The defense is looking for somebody that will have empathy, somebody that will understand Diddy's lifestyle. He's a celebrity. He was with his girlfriends. He wasn't doing anything really wrong. The prosecution is going to look for people who are opposed to this kind of lifestyle. They're going to look probably for more females, somebody who is more probably religious, somebody probably who is married, who believes in the sanctity of marriage. So they're looking for two complete opposite people. I feel because of that, this is going to go all the way until Wednesday. This is not an easy process for them to agree on 12 people, okay? From what I've heard, Diddy remains very upbeat and very positive. If you guys remember, when we first started talking about this trial and when Diddy first got arrested, he was not very upbeat. What has happened, why he is a little bit more upbeat is a little bit kind of unknown. Some people are speculating from his side that he does not feel and his team does not feel like the prosecution has the evidence that they thought that they had. Things are not coming together on the prosecution side. So the talk in the Diddy camp is that they feel like they're going to get off, or they might get off with a couple of, small charges and not anywhere near life in prison. So that is the sentiment coming out of the Diddy camp. He is very, very upbeat. Diddy's family is not set to be there until May the 12th, when the actual trial starts. This week it technically starts, but this is just jury selection. So his family's not going to be there. The past week, there was one music producer by the name of Charlie Finney. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right. And he has been there this past week, and he is there advocating for Diddy's innocence. I have a little video. Take a listen.
Was one of his supporters, a music producer from Harlem called Charlucci Finney. We caught up with him as he was coming out of court. He was wearing a Free Puff sweatshirt. I spoke with him, like, why was he there? Because it's very rare to see anybody other than family there on Diddy's side supporting him. And here's what he had to say. What made you come here to support Puff?
I'm supporting Puff because he's innocent. And I'm wholeheartedly believing his innocence, and I know he's innocent. So
you say you know he's innocent?
1,000%.
Now, why I wanted to play that is, if you looked 6 months ago, there was just Diddy's family there, and nobody was on Diddy's side. In the past couple of weeks, I have found and I've heard more and more people coming out saying Diddy's innocent, he's gonna get off, etc., etc. There is more support in the music industry. You're not going to see very high profile people that are worried about losing any fans. But from what I've been hearing, we're going to start seeing more and more support, especially coming out from the music industry on Diddy's side, proclaiming his innocence. Okay. Now, two more things. The judge has warned both sides, the defense and the prosecution, about making public statements. Now, for us, the public who is chomping at the bits, wanting to know everything, this might seem like, oh, we're not going to get anything, but there's so many reporters, there's so many people on the ground. I have people on the ground that we're going to find out everything that we need to know. So don't worry about that public statements, because these defense lawyers especially, and also the prosecution, they have ways to get stories out there. There's tons of content creators. There's tons of stuff. We will know everything. just we won't hear directly from the defense and the prosecution, okay? And the last thing is, in total, there will be 18 jurors picked. There'll be 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So that is it. We will definitely have more for you daily. And we'll find out, the race of the jurors. We'll find out, male, female, the mix. We'll find out the background. Like I said, we have a lot of resources. We are going to be locked into this all week. I have told you guys repeatedly, and also TMZ, Harvey, all of them, this week, yes, might not be exciting because we're not going to find out evidence and everything. However, the heart of this trial is the jurors. The fight is the jurors. Who can get the juror that will be on their side? The disadvantage for the prosecution, I just want to remind you guys this, the disadvantage for the prosecution is they need all 12 jurors to convict guilty. All 12. The defense, they only need one juror to say not guilty on all 5 of their counts, and Diddy walks free. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. Do not forget that. They need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, and you need all 12 jurors to convict guilty on all 5 charges for Diddy to go away for life. Okay. The strategy behind that is let the prosecution get 4, 5, 6 that they want easily, and the defense will really hone in on 2 or 3 that they feel really needs to be on their side. Why? Because if you have 3, maybe 1 that you might be off, you might, we thought they would be on our side, they're not. Then, there's the 2 where you're like, but you need to have at least 1 that that can guarantee having a hung jury, et cetera, et cetera. So the real burden of proof will be on the prosecution. And we're trying to hone in and trying to figure out who is that 1 to 3 jurors that they feel convinced will be on Diddy's side. All right. So that's it with the jurors. We'll let you know what's going on. Our second lead story. Diddy's prosecution team is all white women led by James Comey's daughter. The federal prosecution who will be trying to secure a conviction against Diddy in his upcoming trial are all white women led by the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. Maureen Ryan Coney is set to lead the team of U.S. attorneys from the vaunted Southern District of New York next week in court when the jury selection begins in Diddy's sex trafficking trial. Maureen's father is the former FBI director who had a controversial role in the 2016 presidential election. James was ultimately fired from his post by President Trump a few months into Trump's first term. Maureen Comey is a Harvard Law School grad, and she's very experienced when it comes to sex trafficking trials, helping secure a conviction against Jeffrey Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy's defense has told us they plan to make race a big factor. His attorney, Mark Agofino, says that this is a takedown of a successful black man, so it's interesting the feds are rolling with an all-white prosecution here. In theory, female prosecutors will be able to connect with the jury over Diddy's alleged crimes against women. Diddy has pled not guilty to all 5 charges he's facing. 2 counts of sex trafficking, 2 counts of transportation to engage in women selling some things, and 1 count of racketeering. And he turned down a plea deal from the feds. All right, a couple of things to unpack here. Now, the all-white prosecution team, that's one thing. But before we get into that, I just want to highlight James Comey's daughter, Maureen. Now, a couple of people have been saying, and I have said this a couple of months ago, that Donald Trump is taking an interest in this in the background. Y'all know that him and Diddy have been friends for years, okay? I know a lot of you don't like to hear that, but they have been. Not saying that Donald Trump is going to get involved in this. Some people are saying that he's going to pardon him, et cetera, et cetera. The fact that James Comey's daughter is on the prosecution team, and to add insult to injury, She comes from Harvard. Now, if you know, once Donald Trump doesn't like you, he doesn't like you for life. He's against Harvard, and he's against James, and he's against Maureen, and he's Diddy's friend. So there's that, okay? Just wanted to put that in there. Now, I don't necessarily think it's a great idea to go with an all-white woman prosecution team for the simple fact that the defense told you that they're going to make this about race. That is their lead here. Although I don't think that's a great way to lead. Who am I to tell all of these high-profile lawyers what to do? They obviously did their research. They did their due diligence, and they feel like this is a great way to lead. If the defense is telling you, hey, we're going to make this case about race, why wouldn't you just find like one black, Hispanic, somebody to put on the prosecution team? We talked earlier about the jury. One black man, one Hispanic man or black woman or Hispanic woman on that jury, if they believe the defense, and this is about race and about an attack against a black man, and the prosecution who's leading this attack is all white women, how does that look to a juror? And again, what we were trying to show you guys with the lead story, and that's why we kicked it off with the jury, it really doesn't matter what I think about what you think or what anybody else thinks. It only really matters to what these 18 jurors think. The 12 and the 6 alternate. That's it. That's all that matters. Our opinions, unfortunately, do not count. This is not a presidential race. We do not get an election. This is not the midterms. This is a trial, and all that matters is the 12 jurors and the 6 alternates. I can't for the life of me figure out why the prosecution just wouldn't have, even on the team, it doesn't have to be led. Let Maureen lead it. No problem. Just put one black woman there, one Hispanic woman there, one, like somebody that's not just an all white woman team, knowing the defense is going to lead with race. Look, maybe I'm overreacting to it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up to here. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think that this is a smart move from the prosecution? We did hear a couple of weeks ago that Diddy was looking for a black woman to be on his defense. He didn't find one. I did hear that Friday he had one last addition to his defense team, and it's a black man. If you guys remember, a couple of months ago, there was one black man that was there, and he left. Can't remember his name, but Diddy found one more black man to be on his team. So I feel, because of all of this race talk, and we haven't even started yet, I feel like this is going to turn into like an O.J. Simpson trial where America is going to start getting a little bit divided, and it will be more about race. And that's probably why the defense team is going to do that. But again, that's America and not necessarily the jurors, but it's all going to come down to the jurors. And I'll have a better opinion, or I'll feel more secure in my opinion once I see who the jury is made up on. Then we'll know how much race is going to play. So until then, for now, with the information that we have, let me know what you think about this all-white woman prosecution team. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third lead story. Diddy's defense could be aided by lack of celebrity sex tapes, and that there's no A minor in the criminal cases, all right? Okay. I broke this down here for you. I have a little video, but I wanted to break this down on what some high-profile lawyers are saying is a huge, huge advantage for Diddy, okay? High-profile attorneys break down the real facts in the Diddy case and explain why the public is being misled. One thing they're going on is the fact that there are no celebrity tapes. Now, when this story first broke, everybody was talking, including me, every content creator was, this is going to be the thing that brings down Hollywood. We're going to hear about LeBron James. We're going to hear about Jennifer Lopez. We're going to hear about this whole unearthing of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. We don't know the evidence yet, but what we do know is that there are no other celebrities involved. There's no tantalizing, salacious craziness. We do know that it's happened. Well, come on, we're smart enough to know that. However, that won't be presented in this case, all right? Maybe in another case, maybe in like Shannon Sharpe, or maybe in the civil cases, but that is not what's going to happen here. Now, because of that, the defense, high-profile defense lawyers are thinking this will be an advantage for the defense when picking jurors. We all know that out of the 700 pre-selected jurors, every single one of them has heard about this case, okay? Most of them will be from New York. If I'm not mistaken, there's a jury of your peers, so they all have to be from New York. I'll check on that, but I'm pretty sure there's nobody in New York who doesn't know Diddy and know about this case. So the fact that what they're alluding to is the fact that they hear about all the salaciousness, and then really what the evidence and the videos and all of that stuff will be is Diddy and his girlfriends. They feel like they're going to be like, that's it? Well, what is he guilty of? He's guilty of just being with his girlfriends, and they feel like that is an advantage. The other part is that let me just read. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's no P word, right? There's no A minor. Again, that's just the salaciousness. Everybody thinks that this is like an Epstein case. And it's just going to be a case about Diddy and his ex-girlfriends and what they're alluding that Diddy did with his ex-girlfriends. And the fact that that's not exciting, or that we're not finding anything out other than that Diddy was a freak, they feel like most jurors are going to be like, what was all this hoopla about? What was all of these raids and all of this stuff and all of these big crazy things that were going on? This was Diddy just being freaky with his girlfriends. They feel like most jurors feel like this is a repeat of Epstein, and it's not. At most, high-profile lawyers think that this is an opportunity for the defense because the jury thinks that the prosecution has a mountain of evidence with all of this crazy stuff, and when they present a very boring, everyday relationship with normal women, it's going to be very hard to convict Diddy. Now, on the other hand, some high-profile lawyers think that this is a positive because they think that some jurors already have their mind made up. Okay, so to give context to that, I'm a juror, I come in, I'm already have this preconceived notion that Diddy has done all these things wrong, and the prosecution really doesn't have to present much because you automatically already think that he's guilty. Now, the only problem with that is that as a juror, you're not allowed to come in with those preconceived notions. When you answer those questionnaires, you're supposed to be honest, and you're not supposed to come in judgment. If you guys remember, just last week, there was somebody in our comment sections that said that one of her friends went to was one of the 700 people. And in her questionnaire, she said that she's going to be biased. She knows about Diddy, but she only said that because she didn't want to give up 2 months of her life and be on the jury. So there could be some people that want to be part of the jury and say, that's okay. I'm not going to be biased. I'll be fine. I don't know who Diddy is. That's when it is up to Diddy, the lawyers, and the psychologists to find out who is telling the truth, find out if they know anything about Diddy, and find out if they have any preconceived notions. But it's interesting to see both sides. One where, hey, this crazy, salacious, celebrity-driven wrongdoing, and then you get there and it's just like, oh, it's Diddy and his girlfriends, and they just like to have some freaky, open, polyamorous stuff. Okay. What was all the big deal about? Not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be, I could sit down through the next 2 or 3 months. I saw that Cassie tape. Diddy's already guilty. Done. But just remember, all the defense needs is one person to just be like, sorry, not guilty, not budging, boom, hung jury, and Diddy walks as a free man. Okay. Anyways, here is the video. Take a listen.
There is this public perception that there are celebrity tapes involved in this case. Do you still think that there are minors involved in this case?
I'm certain no.
The criminal case.
In the
correct.
criminal,
I know that.
in the criminal case.
The,
in the criminal case,
right.
no.
To my mind, that's one of the bigger hurdles in selecting a jury this coming week is that they have that opinion, strongly held opinion, that there's celebrity tapes, that they've kind of conflated Epstein, and you mentioned Ghislaine Maxwell and all of these things into Diddy. There's this idea that somehow this is Epstein redux or something. Do you get that?
I know that's true, but I completely disagree with the insinuation that that's an obstacle for the defense. I think it's a huge opportunity for the defense, because what happens is if people go into a trial believing the firepower on the prosecution is so strong, but it goes down, that helps the defense, because everybody goes in thinking, wow, they're going to prove this, and they're going to prove this, and they're going to prove this, and all of a sudden, none of it's there. I think that actually helps the defense because people's expectations aren't met.
All right, let me hand this over to you guys. What do you think about the jury selection? What do you think about the all-white women prosecution? Before jury selection even starts, let me know what you think of the Diddy trial, what you think the outcome is. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. NFL star Stefon Diggs, whom is dating Cardi B, allegedly just had a baby with IG model Lord Giselle. We told you guys that there was rumors about this last week. It has now been confirmed that Stefon Diggs has had a baby. Here is a post that was put on Instagram. Congratulations to Stefon and Lord Giselle. The writing says, my best friend Giselle just had a baby by him and Shane, even on the internet, trying to prove anything to anybody. Here is a picture of the baby. There's just an eye and the nose. I guess they don't want to reveal the whole face. Happy 3 weeks, mommy girl. And here is a picture of Lord Giselle. Now, while a lot of people are rushing to the fact that Stefon cheated on Cardi and now, while a lot of people in the comment section are running to the fact that Stefon Diggs cheated on Cardi B, let's give some context to this, okay? If she is giving birth, or if she gave birth 3 weeks ago, that means that they were together 9 months ago. Cardi and Stefon have only been allegedly dating for the past 5 or 6 months, confirmed and pretty much kind of like IG verified around February, Valentine's Day. That's the first time we actually seen them out together. So it's possible, well, not possible. He obviously was with this IG model before, and Cardi B probably is like, hey, this was before. Hey, you have a baby. It's fine. Let's not forget, there's allegations that Stefon was with Cardi while she was pregnant with Offset's and hers third baby. So how can Cardi B be mad at Stefon when she cheated on Offset while she was pregnant with Stefon, and then Stefon had a baby before he even met her? So I know it's a tangle web we weave. However, she obviously can't get mad at him for that. My whole thing with Cardi, and I love Cardi B, you all know that. My whole thing with Cardi is that we've seen her go through so much with Offset and the marriage and the divorce and the separation back and forth. And it looks like now it's going to be finalized. But my whole thing is that if she went through all of that before, why not A, give yourself some peace and be single for a little while, heal yourself, work on yourself and be alone. Or B, if you are going to get into another relationship, don't get into a relationship with a man that is having a baby with another girl. There's already allegations that he stepped out on you already. And I've told you guys last week, Stefon Diggs was voted by his teammates in the NFL to be the guy on the team that nobody would let their sister around. So, like, I just don't understand why Cardi would go from Offset to Offset times 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess she has the type of guy, and this is the type of guy who she wants to be with. I don't know, but We'll see. Maybe this is just a little fun thing, a fling, whatever. It does seem like she really likes him. She has said that on Clubhouse. Y'all know that Cardi B is a romantic and she seems like she's really in love, but I just think that this is just going to head for disaster because I don't think Stefon Diggs is any better than Offset. It's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our second quick story. Beyoncé brings Mama Tina on stage to congratulate her on her book. Iconic. Congratulations, Mama T. Beyoncé brought Tina Knowles on stage to congratulate her for the success of her book. Come on, generational talent. All right, I'm going to put this video up here. You will see Tina Knowles, you'll see Beyoncé, Blue Ivy, and Rumi. Now, I want to dance around this carefully. We all know the video is not really circulating online because of Tina Knowles, Blue Ivy, or Beyoncé. It's really about Rumi. So I'm going to play the video for you and just take a look.
We worked so hard on her book. She has the #1 book. Everybody please say, congratulations, Mama T. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, Mama T!
All right, y'all know the tweet that Kanye West tweeted out a couple of weeks ago. We'll just leave it at that. If you go on Twitter, there's one conversation about this video. If you go on Instagram, there's another in a more positive light. Twitter is more negative. Instagram is more positive. We're going to leave YouTube and podcast as positive. Let me know what you guys think about this. I would say most people are like, hey, she's just a normal 7-year-old. She's just really excited. She's just happy to be on stage. Leave the girl alone. Let's just wait to Beyoncé and Jay-Z make a statement or say something. Until then, let's just assume that she's a happy 7-year-old. So I will follow what Jay-Z and Beyoncé would like to do. I think that's the respectful thing to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third lead story. Russell Brand appears in London court on R-word charges, but he is granted bail. Russell Brand's trial, the alleged victim, says he dragged me into the toilet area and did some stuff to me. All right, this was the alleged victim's testified. This is what the alleged victim testified. Russell Brand was in a London courtroom Friday to face multiple R-word challenges, and after a short back and forth with the judge, he walked out of the building a free man for now. The actor's 14-minute court appearance this morning was as simple as answering a bunch of procedural questions by the judge, according to the New York Times. Brown reportedly confirmed his name, date of birth, and address in Great Britain before Gold Spring granted him bail. The New York Times said Russell thanked the judge and strolled out the courtroom without showing any visible emotion. As we reported, Brown was charged with 1 count of the R-word, 1 count of indecent putting hands on somebody, and 1 count of oral R-word, 2 counts of SA just over a month ago on April the 4th. The incident dates back to 1999. The Stay Free podcast host denies all charges while responding on a social media video he recorded while on vacation with his family in Florida. While denying that he R-worded anyone, he confirmed he was a DRUG addict and an SEX addict and an imbecile when he was younger before finding a life in the light of the Lord. An organization representing British lawyers says the trial may not start for another year. However, there is a hearing scheduled for May the 30th. Here is a video of Russell denying the allegations. Take a listen.
I've always told you guys that when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes.
All right, I'm going to put up a picture of Russell Brand right here. For those of you who don't remember, you might not recognize him now that he's like all great and salt and peppery, but he like 10 or 15 years ago, he was a huge actor, like all over MTV, everywhere. He was an A-list celebrity at one time, all right? So for those of you who don't know, that is him. They're alluding to the fact that this is the British version of the Diddy trial, but it's not starting for another year. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on and what happens May the 30th. Our fourth quick story. GTA 6 has officially been delayed till May the 26th, 2026. All right, I'm not a big gamer. Well, actually, I'm not a gamer at all. But for those of you who are in the gaming community, of course, you know this. And for those of you who are not, I just wanted to throw this in here that this is supposed to be going down as the biggest video game ever created of all video games ever of all times. Like, it's going to be a world within a world. This, you know, remember like how when Meta a couple of years ago were like, hey, in the future, we're just going to live in this virtual reality. That is what GTA 6 is going to be. You're going to be able to make money. You're going to be able to have a living. This is like an out of this world experience, and it's having another delay. This is why this is such a big deal. All right. GTA fans, brace yourselves. Rockstar has officially pushed back GTA 6 release till May the 26th, 2026. After all the hype, we're looking at another 2-year wait. Will the extra time make this legendary, or will this be just another longer wait? Here is the official statement that they put out, and they said, "We are very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and the excitement surrounding the Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling by our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we look forward to finishing the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectation, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no expectation. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar." This game ain't never coming out, yo. I don't believe this has literally been like the third or fourth delay. Like I said, I'm not a gamer, and I'm even excited for this to come out. It's supposed to be like revolutionary. Anyways, we'll keep you guys up to date and see if it happens to come out next year. When I saw this and I saw May the 26th, I didn't even see the 2026. I thought it was going to be this year, but it's next year. Just for those of you who might be dyslexic and see numbers weird like me, next year, May 2026. Craziness. Our fifth quick story. People close to LeBron James aren't ruling out the possibility of him finishing his career elsewhere. All right. I dropped this on you guys last week. I told you there's a rumor that I heard from a source that he might be looking to go to Cleveland. And now this has come out over the weekend. People close to LeBron James aren't ruling out the possibility of him finishing his career elsewhere. Could LeBron James be thinking about pursuing his career elsewhere in pursuit of a fifth ring? When posed that question, both league sources close to James and team sources could not rule the possibility out. And all of this was talked about even before they were eliminated. At 40 years old and established in LA, do you think LeBron James could leave? Actually, I have a comment in our comment section, comments of the day, with somebody actually from Cleveland weighing in on if Cleveland wants them back. So just stay tuned for that. Until then, let me know what you think. Do you think LeBron James is going to leave? I just want to see him retire. Y'all know the hate I have for LeBron. I just want to see him out so we could, he could just retire at 4 rings and we could end the conversation about him being the GOAT, because we all know it's Jordan and Kobe. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our sixth quick story. Allegedly, there are 8 different versions of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour. If you look at the website, the stars above the dates, there are 8 different Beyonce pictures in all of them, and the full picture looks like a Connect 4 tic-tac-toe game. I'll put up the picture of what they're referring to. Night 1 and Night 2 were different. Night 2 had Love on Top, Single Ladies, Irreplaceable, and If I Were a Boy, and Night 1 didn't. This is alleged. I got this from a content creator. Shout out to Isaac, one of my boys in LA. I'm just going to jump to him because he could tell you better than I could tell you. Take a listen.
Beyonce, Miss Yeehaw, come here. Because how dare you do Love on Top, Irreplaceable, If I Were a Boy, and Single Ladies on Night 2, and I was not there. You didn't do that Night 1, baby. But allegedly, this is what's going on. So on Beyonce.com, she has all the dates for the tours, and above the date, there's a star with a picture of Beyonce in it. There is 8 different Beyoncés in the stars. And supposedly, the 8 different pictures are supposed to represent 8 different Beyonce set lists and 8 different versions of the Cowboy Carter show, which is crazy. Because you see right here, night one, she got on blonde with a red lip. Then if you come over here to night two, it's no red lip and she got on contacts. Come down here for night three, it's a silver platinum wig. Brunette over here. You come down here, this is different. This is different. Come up here, Chicago's different. And then the other Chicago night is a pink bubblegum wig. After Chicago, this night, New Jersey is pink again. So that's when she starts over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That is really, really cool. It makes sense now that she is going to one area, like one venue, and staying there for 6 nights in a row. And that will get, let's say she's going to LA, she has 4 nights. She's going to New York. I think New York has the most nights. I think it's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 5 or 6. But that will make the real Beyonce stans come out more than once because you get a different show every night. Crazy. Shout out to Beyonce. Let me know if you guys have gone to see any shows or if you plan to see any of them and which star. I don't even know which star I would want to go see. Anyways, shout out to Beyonce. Our 7th quick story. Michelle Evans reflects on the alleged 2010 R-word by Shannon Sharpe, claims the incident stemmed from her declining his sex advances after finding out he moved one woman out of his home and moved another one in. He wouldn't take no for an answer. All right, in an interview, she discussed meeting Shannon Sharpe at her job as a local sports reporter in 2002. Michelle claimed they didn't get cozy until they bumped into each other at a Denver nightclub called Blue 67. During that time, she alleged Shannon Sharpe was really pressing her and began to pursue her heavily, but she was reluctant due to her profession. After a while, they did get into a relationship and they proceeded to go with an open relationship. She claims everything was going well until 2010 when Shannon Sharpe allegedly came to her home and SA'd her. She said he wanted her to leave her husband and only be with him, but he was not faithful to her and she knew that. Evans claims that Shannon did not take no for an answer. Evans claims said she initially had no intention to pursue charges, but after the alleged relentless threat by Sharpe, she decided to pursue charges, but went on to drop them after Shannon allegedly doxed her, resulting in someone showing up at her home and yelling to her in front of her daughter. Michelle claims multiple people showed up at her home. All right, over the weekend, the U.S. Sun interviewed Michelle, and basically, in a nutshell, it's over for Shannon Sharpe. All right, we've been talking about Shannon Sharpe all last week. I'm going to play the video for you. It's a whole 8-minute long video. We have the whole thing on Formerly Out Loud, FORMALLY Out Loud on our Instagram page. We obviously can't play the whole thing here, and we have to edit out a lot of things that she's saying. She gets very detailed. She tells you a lot of things. We'll try to play most of it that we can. She gets to a point where she gets so caught up that she's like, I can't even talk about this. I don't want to go here anymore. And she stops. The interview cuts. The person that's interviewing her asked her, hey, everybody wants to know, why did you take so long to press charges? Then why did you drop the charges? And she goes on to explain that she feels like Shannon Sharpe had all these connections because he was an NFL player. He knew all the police. She didn't want to in the beginning. Then she ended up doing it anyways. And then he exposed her name and exposed her address, causing a lot of people to show up at her house or whatever. And then that's why she dropped it. Regardless if this is true or not, most people online, from what I'm seeing in the comment section, and even in our comment section, don't believe her, feel like this is exaggerated. Regardless, this is the second woman that's coming forward talking about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is not even denying the first one. He's saying that she's stretching the truth, but he's not even denying most of the stuff that she is talking about. It's done for Shannon Sharpe, okay? Take a listen to the video.
The argument was about the fact that he had removed one girl from his house and put another girl in his house and didn't tell me. And he had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? We were arguing and he was sending me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he me. He wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me put me to my knees, put his in my mouth. It was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard.
We told you guys last week that Shannon Sharpe is no longer on ESPN. He's claiming that he's going to come back for the NFL season. I do not see that happening. I told you guys last week about all the sponsors that has dropped from his podcast, and allegedly he's no longer being offered this $100 million deal, podcast deal. The only thing that he's going to be making is money off of YouTube, his AdSense money, which is nothing compared to what he could have been making. Will Shannon Sharpe still continue with his YouTube show and his podcast? I don't know. I don't know what celebrity is going to want to sit down and talk with Shannon Sharpe. We shall see. But the Shannon Sharpe that we know of is no longer there. I have also heard that there are going to be other women coming forward. I'll just leave it at that. Y'all know I don't like to spill too much. I don't want to get no cease and desist letters. But once one comes out, a second comes out, you know there's going to be a third and fourth. You don't even need me to tell you. There's apparently in the works another case that's going to be coming forward for Shannon Sharpe. Maybe he might try to pay it off and nip it in the bud, but it's already done. So from what I've heard, he's just letting everything roll out and just going to roll the dice. Let me know what you guys think about Shannon Sharpe in the comment section below. Our eighth quick story. Nike, Adidas, and other footwear brands asked Donald Trump for tariff exemptions. All right, y'all know that I was big in the footwear industry. I'm glad I got out when I did. All right, I'm going to not read you the whole entire letter. I just pulled 4 or 5 little tidbits that I wanted to share with you guys. Given the nature of the U.S. footwear industry, American footwear businesses and families face an external threat from such substantial cost increase. Hundreds of businesses face the prospects of closures. Tens of thousands of jobs are at risk. We are deeply concerned about the U.S. footwear job loss, adding costs to customers and reduce customer spend that will fundamentally hamper our industry and harm the entire U.S. economy. Many Americans buy shoes at $30 to $50 and they pay instantly. The significant price increase for these tariffs will preclude these American customers from having affordable footwear options. If the current situation continues, American footwear workers and customers will suffer. This is an emergency that requires immediate action and attention. All right, for those who want to see the full official letter, I'll post it up here. You could pause it and read it. This is not just Nike. You'll see the whole list here of all the footwear companies that are here. Crocs, everybody is here, man. Just everybody. We'll just run through it here quickly on the screen. You guys, like I said, could pause it. So this is from the footwear organization. The thing to me that stands out here is every industry is affected. We all know that Donald Trump made exceptions for phones and laptops, helping out Apple, IBM, etc. If he has an exemption for footwear, then why not have an exemption for everything, right? So anyways, we'll keep you guys up to date on this whole tariff thing. Like I said last week, the Donald Trump administration has said that there are 35 deals that they're working on. We hope for the American people that will be announced soon. And we still don't know what's going on with China. That's what this tariff is really alluding to here. I do know Nike does have factories that are outside of China. And I think if there's some deals that are made outside, I know, especially Nike and Adidas, they can move around and have stuff made outside of China. So that could be a little bit of a loophole that they could work around. So we'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with all this tariff stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our ninth quick story. The feds in Big U's Rico case reveal they have 20,000 intercepted phone calls and numerous suspicious audio and video recording. All right, if you guys don't remember who Big U is, Big U was the big GANG member from LA that was Nipsey Hussle's ex-manager. I think he got arrested almost like a month now. Just wanted to give you guys a follow-up on what's going on in his case. And there's also another reason that I wanted to talk to you guys about this, because it ties back to Diddy in a way, a little bit, just with the Rico case. But let me just get through it first. Big U's co-defendant in his federal RICO trial wants to put back their trial scheduled to start later this month. Their attempt to do so has brought some light and the sheer volume of evidence in the case. In a new court filing, the government reveals that it has a mountain of material evidence against former Nipsey Hussle's manager and the 6 co-defendants. Included in that pile, prosecutors say 20,000 intercepted phone calls, as well as numerous suspicious and audio-video recording. In addition, there are law enforcement reports, search warrants, and returns, criminal history documents, recordings, and photographs. In total, around 60 gigabytes of material. On top of having to sort through such a huge amount of evidence, many of the co-defendants' lawyers are also scheduled to handle trials for a number of other criminal cases, some of which overlap with the planned trial start date of May 20th, 2025. All right, so like I said at the top, I definitely wanted to just follow up and let you guys know what's going on with Big U. Remember, he is also tied in to Adam 22, No Jumper, and that whole big case that's going on in LA. So we have Richard Brand that's going on in England. We have LA and New York, and we also have Shannon Sharpe. I don't know where that lies in. I don't know. Where's Shannon Sharpe based out of? I think that case is it Atlanta or New York? Anyways, not too sure. Anyways, those are the 4 major cases that are going on. Also, what I wanted to just throw in here is that, so Big U has a Rico case, just like how Diddy has a Rico case. And normally in a Rico case, you hear all the evidence, like they just said, 20,000 phone calls, the wiretaps, the photographs, and everything. I question what is going on with the prosecution in Diddy's case and why we haven't heard the evidence that they have against Diddy. I'm not saying they don't have. I'm just, normally in a Rico case, they tell us everything that they have, the wiretaps, the this or whatever. The only thing that the prosecution on Diddy's team has said that they have, that they've told us, is the Cassie video. That's the only thing that we know. We know that the arrest and all the tapes and the baby oil and everything that they got during the arrest that happened, what was it, May 2024? But they haven't told us anything that they're going to be using during the trial. We don't know. I just question it. It just makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know. And I think that's why Diddy is so happy and so upbeat. Anyways, we could just go on speculation from now, things, sources, hearing, but normally, like in Big U, they tell you we have 20,000 minutes of audio, we have 20,000 phone calls, we have this, we have that, we have search warrants. We don't know what Diddy's case the prosecution has. Makes me uncomfortable. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our 10th quick story. Brittany Renner shows off her rock and refers to Kevin Gates as her husband in her new post. All right, here's the post that everyone's talking about. Here is Brittany Renner with her hand up, showing off her rock. She said, last night at Basketball Wives season 12 premiere party with my husband. And yes, she spells it husband, Huzband. All right, we've been talking about Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner for the past couple of weeks. Now, when this first came out, everybody was talking about why is Kevin with Brittany when he is married to Dreska. Dreska. I just saw her like last week and I said, hey, what's up, Dre? I just like, hey, what up, Dre? Anyways, the reason why I mentioned seeing her last week at the Black Effect is I was confused 3 or 4 weeks ago of what's going on with Brittany Renner, and now I know. But Dre asked me not to say anything, so I'm not going to say anything. Shout out to Dre. For those who don't know, Dre is married to Kevin Gates. They're married. He is Muslim. People in the comment section were like, oh, he's Muslim. He could have more than one wife. Brittany Renner, has converted over to that religion as well. But that's not all what's going down. So shout out to Dre. But I can't give you guys the tea, all right? Sorry. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our 11th quick story. The Catholic Conference of New York State issues a statement directed at Donald Trump, urging him not to mock them after he posted an image of himself dressed like the Pope. All right, for those who didn't see this, Donald Trump posted this on the White House Instagram page and on True Social. He posted this everywhere. Such disrespect. A picture of him as the next pope. He got called out and said, "There is nothing clever or funny about this image, Mr. President. We just buried our beloved Pope Francis, and the cardinals are about to enter a solemn conclave to elect a new successor of St. Peter's. Do not mock us." All right, I'm really interested to know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. A lot of people were like, yo, this is so funny. This is what we like about Donald Trump. And as much as I try my hardest to see some of the things that Donald Trump does as him trying to just be involved in the social media era and in the content creation section, and I try my best to see, I think this is actually really disrespectful and in poor taste. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite segment, comments of the day. All right, before I start comments of the day, I have a very, very special announcement. The Trent Out Loud podcast has an official sponsor for comments of the day, just for the Out Louders. All right, guys. For those of you who follow me daily, you know that we have had Aura as a sponsor for a couple of episodes, but they watched the show daily, shout out to Aura, and they said, Trent, we want to do something special just for the people in the comment section, just for your Out Louders, all right? So I have a link below, and we have a 14-day free trial for Aura. For those of you who don't know, I stand by Aura. Aura is a one-stop digital security for your phone and for your laptop. For those of you who don't know, I'm just going to run it down very quickly for you, all right? If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number and why they have your inbox flooded with spam, this is why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars from marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And that is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and loved ones. Aura is a all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have digital security tools, but not having Aura is like locking your front door but leaving your back door open. Get alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking. It keeps your identity safe 24 hours, 7 days a week, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more, and US-based support system available around the clock if anything does go wrong. If anything does happen, Aura includes a $5 million in identity theft insurance protection, and they have US fraud experts ready to help 24/7. All right, here is the best part. Try Aura free for 14 days at the link below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud. I'll also put the QR code up on the screen if you want to just take out your phone and get to the link right now. Here's what I got you guys, okay? And this is the best part. In the 2-week free trial, once you guys sign up, Aura will be able to go back and discover if any of your information has been taken off of your phone or laptop in the past for free. That is what we got you, okay? I told them, I'm like, listen, if you guys do anything, I need something like special just for the Out Louder. So follow that link, click, sign up for the 14-day free trial. And like I said, they're able to go back in the past and find out if there's any breaches. I got my mom signed up, my sister, her kids, my niece and nephews. I'm telling everybody about it. We got this for you guys 4 times before, but now we have it daily. You have access. So QR code, trust me, sign up. You do not want to be on the internet. I am on the internet all the time and on my phone. I had a breach, and this is the reason why I found Aura, okay? And for those of you who don't know who Aura is, Aura used to be on the jersey sponsorship for the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll put up a little picture right here. Here is Ant Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Aura is the leading in digital cybersecurity. Do not go another day without them, all right? So let's go on to our comment section. The first one is from Cherry. Trent, this is Cherry from Baltimore. I love watching your show. I watch you all the time. However, it seems when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, you never seem to notice anything. His concert has been on social media all week long since his tour has started. But when it comes to Drake, you seem to notice everything. I really think it's personal. And to me, that's petty. As much as I admire you and your show, please stop hating, because for real, that's how it's coming off. All right, Cherry from Be More. Shout out to Be More. Okay, I wanted to talk about this super quickly. I love comments like this because it helps me clarify things. Now, this comment comes off of a quick story that we did shouting out Kendrick for having the largest grossing arena date of was like $11 million. Like he beat out Beyonce, Drake, and everybody. I find it funny that I tell you a story shouting out Kendrick saying, yo, he has the biggest record. And all I said when I said he has the biggest record is, yo, I haven't seen his concert like on blogs or whatever. I'm like, has anybody gone? Let me know if it's good. And you take that little comment as hate. If it was hate, I wouldn't talk about him, or I would say, you know, something negative. I'm shouting him out. And I also told you when I was in Atlanta, I was actually chilling and hanging out with DJ Head, and I was like, yo, what's up? And for those of you who don't know, DJ Head is Kendrick Lamar's DJ the Pop Out Show on Amazon. So love Kendrick Lamar. Always any accolades or anything that he's doing, I talk about him all the time. And whenever Drake does anything, I talk about him. So I do not think that that is fair, Cherry. If you go back and listen to it, I was actually shouting him out. All right. So go back and then let me know if you give me some props for that. No hate at all. Y'all know I don't hate on nobody. Come on. Except for maybe Stephen A. Smith. All right. Next one is Indigenous Plant Based. Said, yo, Trent, love that chair. Thank you. My chair is pretty dope, huh? I mean, kind of gets a little fingerprint sometimes, but my chair is very dope, huh? It's kind of like that, what is that movie? The Will Smith movie, Men in Black. That's where I got the concept comes from. Anyways, enough about my chair. It looks nice and comfy. Speaking of chairs, LeBron needs to have several. I too am from Akron, Ohio, and all the Cavs fans that I know don't want him back. They're doing well without him. That's coming from a Celtics fan. Great show, young man. Keep up from sunny Arizona. All right, I wanted to put that on here. Shout out to Indigenous Plant. I told you guys earlier in quick stories when we were talking about LeBron. So I wanted to put this in here also because she said my chair was nice. And the fact that, hey, some Cav fans don't want him back. Anybody out in Akron, anybody out in Ohio, can you confirm this? This is the second or third person I've heard that they said that they do not want him back. There might not be any hate like how it used to be, because yes, he did bring them a championship, but they don't want him back. Now, if he wants to leave LA, where else would he go? Nothing else makes sense. There makes no sense for LeBron James to leave and go anywhere else. Where would he go? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, thought I'd put that in there quickly. Next one comes, that this wasn't a comment on YouTube. This is a comment from a friend of mine that watches the show. Y'all know Mars. We used to do a live together. I found this super funny, and I thought maybe some of you might think this. Mars tweeted, what's up, me? And she said, dude, you have 7 lawyers? Why? I wrote back and I said, you need different lawyers for each province, so that doubles things right there. You need lawyers for business, you need lawyers for criminal cases, and you need lawyers for staff. I actually might have more than 7. So after I saw this, I actually went and checked, and I actually do have more than 7. When you're an entrepreneur and you have businesses in Canada provinces, in the United States, in different states, you need a different lawyer because most lawyers can't practice in different states. So I had national brands. That's why I have lawyers in every province, and I have lawyers in the US in different states as well too. Plus you need lawyers for criminal cases, and you also need lawyers when you have staff. So I actually have more than like 10 lawyers. So people in the comment section when they're like, oh, Trent, what do you know about the law? Trust me, I have enough lawyers around me that I've developed very good friendships because I've spent a lot of money with lawyers. So when I talk about the law, I will hit them up. I'll call a couple of them to just solidify some of the things that I'm saying. All right. So I want to throw that in here for you guys. Shout out to Mars. All right. Next one is Tangi. Hey, Trent, this is my first time commenting. I'm from the DMV. Whoop, whoop. Yo, shout DMV. I normally let things slide, but I had to say something this time. Although I do agree with you on some of the things when it comes to Trump, but I had to let you know that you're kind of contradicting yourself. You can't say on one hand you want a politician to show leadership and resolve when Trump isn't doing that. I don't think it's fair to tell someone to turn down their blackness, in my eyes, to look better for the world. Trump gets to say and do whatever he wants, but Kamala, can't dance. I don't know. I don't think it's as deep as you're making it, but I still love you anyways. Laugh out loud. And just in case you pronounce it, it's Tangi. All right. I think I pronounced it Tangi in the beginning. All right, Tangi, I just want to touch on the Kamala Harris thing. I don't even want to get into Donald Trump. I actually tried to do my best not to talk about Trump today. Just about the Kamala Harris thing, because I saw a couple of you guys comment about Kamala and me saying that I don't like seeing her dance. That wasn't, first of all, that has nothing to do with blackness, has nothing to do with her. I even said I didn't like Jasmine Crockett dancing on the night that Donald Trump had his State of the Union speech. It was more about the Democratic Party and less about Kamala. I love Kamala Harris dancing. I loved when she was Saturday Night Live and they do all that stuff. I told you guys that that's how the Democratic Party got the younger demographic back in the day, and it all started with Bill Clinton when he was on Arsenio Hall and playing the saxophone. The message that I was trying to get across is right now, today, in the state that the Democratic Party is in, with no leader, having lost all 7 swing states, having lost the popular vote, the first time in like 25 years that they lost the popular vote. Don't forget, when Donald Trump won against Hillary Clinton, Hillary won the popular vote by a lot. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 2 or 3 million, the popular vote. So, and she won swing states. The fact that Kamala and the Democratic Party has lost the House, the Senate, they lost all 7 swing states and the popular vote. I just don't want to see Kamala, Jasmine Crockett, I don't want to see nobody, has nothing to do with race. I don't want to see nobody in the Democratic Party doing, this should be a time of emergency for them. With everything that Donald Trump is doing, and yes, and I'll touch on Donald Trump quickly, even though I said I won't. Yes, I try my best, because that's the type of podcast I want to have, to highlight some of the things that he is doing that I might think is a positive, even though I think a lot of the things that he's doing is negative. I try to see some of the positive and try to give him the benefit of the doubt. However, there are still a lot of things that he's doing that are negative, even if you're on the Republican side. But on the Democratic side, they're calling out so much. They're saying that how he is ruining America. And I just don't feel like the fact that the Democratic Party just coming off such a big loss, everything that they're saying about Donald Trump, I just don't think it's time to dance. It's not a Kamala Harris thing. It's not a Jasmine Crockett thing. It's not an anybody thing. It's just a Democratic Party. I want to see them come together and have a more cohesive message to answer the Republican Party. Because even though I'm an independent, you need a strong Democratic Party to counterbalance and fight the Republican Party. And that's how you have a beautiful America. But right now, it's looking like the Republicans are here and the Democrats are here because they're trying to just figure things out. And that is why I said I don't like the dance. Trust me, it's nothing directed at Kamala Harris. I hope that makes sense. All right, next one is Danny Sanders says, dude, you just made my day. You are hilarious. Well, thank you, Danny. That's what we try to do here at the Trent Law Podcast. Martha said, are you serious? You want Canada to become the US? You would not have free Medicare. Wow, dude, you lost me. All right, Martha, let's just take a second here. You guys, what I like the best about having a podcast is that you could go back and listen. I never said that I wanted the US to become Canada. All I said was the beauty of the world is that countries grow. There was a point where California and Texas were not part of the US. 500 years ago, it was like, we never want to be part. And now the time in which we live in, we just think of it as normal. All I'm saying is that I think what might happen is 100, 200, 300 years from now, maybe Canada might become the US and Donald Trump might be looked at as the guy to have started the conversation. And because I'm a conversationalist, what I said is I would like for there to be somebody that appoints a group of people on both sides, Canada and the US, to see what the advantages would be of coming together. Not like that I want it to happen. What would be the advantages? Because the more we come together and the more we do work together, the better we are. And we are one land. We are North America. And America has a lot of resources, a ton of resources. 90% of Canadians live 1 hour away from the US border. 90%. This whole land up here, our TV, our movies, everything that we do is American. So we are so much more blended than people even realize. Having said that, I'm not saying that I want Canada to become the US. All I'm saying is I would like to have some research to give us some more information on what it would look like before we just close it off and say, no, it's impossible. That's all I'm saying. Y'all know me by now. I'm open-minded. I just like to research and see the possibilities of things, all right? This one is Linda. Let Kamala Harris dance. Damn, obviously they didn't want her leading, so what difference would it make now? It's only her first public appearance. Let her live, Trent. And she left the rolling eyes. See, like I said, I saw a lot of people. And again, it's not specifically Kamala, and that's just not how I want to see her come back. I hold her in a much higher regard than that. And yes, she did have a pretty good speech, etc. Like I said, it's just not her. It's everybody in the Democratic Party. I'm just really disappointed in the Democratic Party right now. Simple as that. Next one is Kim. Kim said, I'm so over Donald Duck. Deshaun said, my favorite nightly podcast, period. Like it or not, thanks for your honest opinion. Thank you, Deshaun, for highlighting that. Tez says, you're acting a straight fool. Must be Friday. Yep, I definitely try. Jude says, hello, Mr. Trent. You are very funny. Your singing makes me laugh so hard, but you are still the best. Keep the good work coming. Love you always. From Italy. And Nicole says, folks, be locked into your podcast, nephew, big time. They listening, Trent, and watching. Let's keep going. And Nikki here. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Everybody, especially the ones who I called out today, make sure you guys click on that link below. Sign up with Aura. I'm telling you, I worked hard to get this just for you guys. All right. Everybody in the comment section, really just honing this in on the out louders. I'm not going to put this all over the show. Really want to focus this in on you guys. Y'all know I always try to build like a cool community, and I want to try to give back to you guys. I use Aura. They're amazing. Click on the link below. Sign up for the 14-day trial and just at least find out what has happened. When I signed up, I was shocked to find out. They will find out any breach or anything that you've been compromised in the past years. They'll erase it, and at least you start fresh. And that is all for free on the 14-day trial. You got to salute your boy for getting you that, all right? Love you guys. I'm happy to give you guys back something. Y'all give me back so much in the comment section. This is for you. Shout out to Aura. Here is the QR code again, or if you want to just click on the link below, sign up. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Ace Metaphor and Cam Newton discuss men's attraction to women. Ace says, a lot of heterosexual men do not like women for real. All right, I'm so excited to talk about this. I have been saying the similar thing for years. I've said it a couple of times. Happy to bring this to social discussion. Once again, listen to the clip and we'll discuss. Take a listen.
A lot of heterosexual men don't like women for real. They like women sexually, but they don't like women. They're not attracted to what a woman is outside of her sexual organs. And so I just encourage men to be, I'm not gonna say more, because that's unrealistic to a lot of men, but as attracted to what she brings as a feminine energy to your life outside of just what you're doing in between.
Ace is spitting pure facts. Trust me. Okay, I've been saying the same thing. My version of saying it is men choose the woman who they want to be with for one night, mistakenly for their entire life. Okay, let me elaborate. So you go to a club or you go out somewhere to a barbecue, wherever it is, and you see this girl and you're like, yo, this girl is amazing. She's hot, whatever. And that physical attraction kicks in and you're like, yo, I really like this girl. Not thinking like, what else does she have to offer? Because all of these things are going through. Now, most men, not all, but most men get caught up in that feeling and feel like they actually like this girl without even diving into how they'll be able to work together in a relationship. While a woman is automatically right away thinking, how is the relationship going to work? And because a woman is assuming that the man is thinking the same thing and not realizing that they're not, I feel like most relationships and marriage end up in a divorce, or they end up unhappy because they're not both starting on with the same things. A man is going to accept a bunch of these things in the beginning because he's only thinking about the physical. And a woman is like, this guy's amazing. He's so nice. He says yes to everything. He's picking me up. He's being such a gentleman. He's being all of this or whatever. But you're not really meeting that real guy. You're just meeting his representative because that representative really just likes the physical things that he's feeling. But not only will that wear off as you get older, but it just wears off as the relationship progresses. And the funny thing is that a man doesn't even realize that the physical wears away. So he's not realizing why he's not so interested anymore. And then maybe starts looking at some other women. And then he's like, I think I like her, but I'm not really too sure. And then it just gets into like this whole thing. And then there's a routine. And then, well, you said all of these things before. And how come you're not doing all these things now? And then they got on the phone with their boys and they're like, yeah, she's so nagging and she's so this and she's so that. Not even realizing that you were okay with all of these things before. You just had blinders on. And now that you've seen the realness and all that physicalness is gone, you feel like she's nagging and you feel like she's all of these things. But she's just really trying to get the person back that was in the beginning. Men, trust me. I'm not saying to not act on those physical feelings. Trust me, do that. But here's the trick. Know yourself and know that, hey, I am only going on physical feeling. That's the dating or whatever. But don't pick the girl that you like for dating or that physical attraction and have her be your girl. Don't let it go that far. Keep it that way. Just keep it as the one night or the dating or the fun. There are fun girls or the fun times, and then there's the wifey. And those two girls, to me, are very, very different. I am definitely attracted to both of them because you don't want to have your girl who you're not attracted to. But the fundamentals that I look for in those separate girls are very, 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 very different. And that's why I've had successful relationships. Yes, I know I'm single, but I still had successful relationships in the past because I know how to choose differently from a date and a fun time. And then I know the difference of choosing a wifey. And that's exactly why I'm not married, because I am waiting to find that, I use the word perfect, not a perfect person, but the perfect person for me. I believe there's a perfect person for me out there. There's a perfect match out there for me. And I know I will find her one day. And I don't care how hot the girl is. I don't care how amazing or the physical gets. I will never, ever, ever let that physical confuse the girl who I'm looking for to marry, to have kids with, and spend the rest of my life with, because those two girls are very, very, very different. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Name a remix that was better than the original song. All right, first one is Snoop Dogg, Drop It Like It's Hot. That was actually a really dope remix. I like that. The remix to Ignition. All right, we don't listen to R. Kelly anymore, but that was such a dope remix. It was the remix to Ignition, Hot and Fresh Out the Kitchen, Mama Rolling That. But anyways, we cannot sing R. Kelly. Oh my gosh, stop. Next one is Love in the Club Part 2. 1000%. You know when you don't listen to the original anymore, or when you don't even realize that the remix is not the original, that's when you know it's banging. Anyways, Touch It remix by Busta Rhymes. That was amazing. Somebody says that there was 52 remixes. They were all great. 1000%. That one Beyoncé mashup, I Feel Like Falling in Love. I don't remember that. Anyways, okay. The version of Deuces. Okay. What's another one? Okay, there's another R. Kelly one, but we're not going to go. Okay, we'll give R. Kelly one more. I'm a Flirt. Okay, fine. Done. No more R. Kelly, okay? Love in the Club featuring Wayne and Beyonce. That was super dope. Beyonce Ego remix with Kanye. See? Just for a second there, I forgot that the Kanye was a remix. That was such a dope remix. That Ego was dope. Okay, nope. We're not doing an R. Kelly one. Throw It in the Bag remix featuring Fab, The Dream, and Drake. That was so dope. Anything with Fab, you know if there's a remix with Fab on it, you know it's fire. Jagged Edge, Let's Get Married. Again, that's another remix that is way bigger than the original, but that was so dope. Let's Get Married. Savage remix, Megan and Beyonce. That was dope. Usher, Love in the Club. Yep, super dope. End of Time. It's right here. Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. That's another one. You can't even remember the original. Very good. Okay, I feel like I'm giving away too much. I'm not leaving you guys enough. I'm going to end it there. Destiny's Child, No, 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 Part 2 of Wyclef. So dope. I think they actually put the remix on the album and had the original, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, I'm done. I'm not going to give you guys, there's some other ones, but I want to leave you guys with some other ones. Yeah, Deuces. We already said Deuces. Chris Brown, Kanye West, Fab, Drake, T.I., Rick Ross on Andre 3000. That would never happen again. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Let me know some remixes that I haven't mentioned, or let me know if you disagree or agree with some that I have mentioned. But I'm leaving some room for you guys. Let me know a remix that's better than the original. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, let's do a quick recap of the NBA weekend. Not a good weekend for me at all. I lost both of my games. The Warriors lost on Friday to the Rockets. So ridiculous. Bringing it to game 7. Horrible. There was another game 7 on Saturday. Again, my Clippers lost, so they're out. I really didn't want Denver to get in, or not get in, but go forward to the second round. The one thing I'll say about the Clippers game is I understand they were down 20 or 25 points, but if you ask me, you never take out your starters in a game 7. Why wasn't Kawhi and Harden and all of them in all the way? It's the end of the season. Like, you stay in. If I'm down 40, I'm still staying in and trying. I have like 12 minutes left. I just disagree with that. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section below. And depending on when you see this, but there is a game 7 on Sunday, the Warriors and Rockets. So we'll let you know tomorrow if my Rockets make it. Sorry, if my Warriors make it and beat the Rockets. Please. If Warriors don't make it in, I really don't even really have anybody left. I mean, there's the Timberwolves, even though I'm mad at Ant Edwards, I'm still going for them. Yeah, Warriors have to make it in, man, for it to stay exciting. Like, we need some of our, like, veteran names in there, right? We need the Steph Curry, Draymond Green, like, gosh, Anyways, Jimmy Buckets. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the NBA playoffs and if your team has made it in or not. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, you guys, that is a wrap on today's show. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Our first official Diddy trial episode, and also our first episode with our new sponsor. Well, not new because they already sponsored again, but our official daily sponsor with Aura. Again, make sure that you guys click this link below. Sign up. I got this for you guys, man. Don't not click, all right? Because then I did all this for nothing. And also, here is the QR code once again if you want to sign up. Again, just at least find out everything that happened in the past. It's free to find out, all right? So before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers, if you are ever going on a flight or going in a car, you don't have access to the YouTube app or internet, have no fear. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can just download the episode and take us with you. Just go to any podcast platform and type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for the people who are used to listening to the show on podcast platforms, thank you so much for your downloads. I appreciate you. However, the Out Louders want you to come over here on YouTube because our comment section is litty, all right? Even Aura thinks so. They're my new partners, all right? So come on over to YouTube. Check us out here. The comment section is lit, all right? Just head over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Couple of housekeeping rules. 1, make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right? That gets you entrance into the Out Loud family. 2, hit the like button. We got to get the algorithming. 3, make sure you comment. Please, I do this show by myself, but I need you guys. I do it with you. I'm by myself on camera, but I need you guys. If you guys don't answer some of my questions or weigh in on the topics, I'm here talking to myself, all right? And that's just never a good thing, all right? I need y'all. We do this together. If you don't want to comment, at least just let me know where you're from. Hey, I'm watching from here. I have analytics, but I like to show everybody that this is a global platform. So just let me know the city, state, wherever you're in, anywhere in the world, country, shout out everywhere, the globe, all right? If you are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, or loved ones because it definitely helps in growing the channel. And also, like I said earlier, click on the Aura link and sign up for your 14-day trial. You can do that on podcast or on YouTube. For those of you who want to follow me on outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. I'm most active on Instagram, however, available on all of them. And it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud, Trent Out Loud. We have started a small blog page on Instagram. The blog page is called Formally Out Loud, Formally Out Loud, Formally Out Loud. And that's where we'll put like the Michelle Evans, Shannon Sharpe's ex-girlfriend. We'll put the whole video out there. We can't put the whole video here on YouTube, and we have to take out, we have to edit some words. It's all over there on Formally Out Loud, unedited. You can see it in its entirety. So check us out there. All right. I'll see you for tomorrow's episode. Be good. Excited to see what happens with those jurors on the Diddy trial, man. We're going to be talking about Diddy every day, man. Make sure y'all keep it locked. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!